Hello?
Hey, what's going on? YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all my buddies all over on every social media network. What's going on? How you guys doing? Welcome to God, Cars, and Football, GCF with me, Raphael. I'm over here in New Jersey. That's where I live. I'm in Shark River Park. I'm walking around on the trails right now. And I just wanted to take this time to just introduce myself to you guys. Just give you a little bit about myself, who I am, what this channel is going to be about. Let's get a quick view of this real quick. Basically, more or less, the God portion is going to be a lot about, there's going to be a lot of these nature type of walks and things like that. You can see I'm in Shark River Park. It's beautiful here. See all that. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of tweaking and fine-tuning as the channel goes along. I'm trying to figure out exactly which way I want to take it in terms of the three different aspects of the channel. So God, cars, and football. These are three of my main passions in life. So I'll start with, my name is Raphael. That's an Armenian last name. A lot of people are probably going to be like, what the heck is that? It's pronounced Kaimakjan, but American way to say it is Kamakian. I'm American. I was born in America, born in Neptune, New Jersey, Jersey Shore Hospital. Grew up in this area, in the Neptune area, Neptune, Asbury Park, New Jersey, Ocean Township, New Jersey, Long Branch, New Jersey. I now live in Jackson, New Jersey, which is about 15-20 minutes from here. I live with my wife. We are married, and the funny thing about us two is that we have known each other, so it's very unique. We've known each other since we were both born. Since she was born, I've known her, and obviously vice versa. I've known her since she was born. So a quick rookie mistake. I was just explaining to my wife how we've known each other and for how long. And I said, I've known her since she was born, and I said, obviously also I've known her since she was born. So I said the same thing twice. But what I meant was, I've known her since she was born, and she's known me since she was born. So, vice versa. We've known each other all our lives. And not just like acquaintances, we were very, very close family friends. And, my dad lived with her parents and vice versa, back and forth. Her dad lived with us for a while. And so, very unique situation there. But we're devout Christians. Love God, love Christ. Everything about him. He just has continued to change my life in particular, and just those around me in particular. And we come from a pretty crazy background. So there are some of my family, obviously, who haven't found Christ yet, or who maybe falsely think they have found him. But so, more or less, Christ is the driving factor in this whole channel. But like I said, there's three passions. God being the number one passion. But there's also, along with God comes family and things like that. That all plays into it. That's why I'm mentioning my wife and my life. But also cars, I'm a big Corvette fan. So when I say cars, obviously maybe I should have named it God, Corvettes, and Football. Or maybe God, Corvettes, and Cowboys, because I'm a Cowboys fan too when it comes to football. But it's going to be a lot of probably Corvette talk and a lot of maybe sports car talk. As far as the car aspect of the channel goes, there's going to be some, there's going to be all kinds of cars probably. You guys can maybe name some. We can learn as we go together. I want it to be like a community channel where I want people to be together. I want to bring people to Christ. I want to bring our passions together about cars and football also. I'm thinking like eventually, once enough people kind of catch on to this and maybe they like what I'm doing or not, we'll see. But maybe we can like do this together, like on the God aspect, or even on the cars and football aspect too. But on the God aspect, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of like nature walking and stuff, and just talking about different aspects of God, maybe applying certain scriptures to life, and you know, certain problems that we all face, and just trying to kind of dig deeper into it. Maybe bring a lot of people to Christ who are right on the fringe, you know what I mean? So, but and as far as cars and football, I haven't exactly figured out how I'm gonna go about bringing that into the channel, and like how it's gonna work. I know I'm gonna talk about cars and football, but I'm trying to figure out what setting. Am I gonna do reviews on cars? I don't think so, but maybe here and there. I'm thinking for the cars, maybe my initial thought was to have a bunch of people, once you all catch on, you know, maybe you recommend what car you want to talk about, and I can do a little research and study and figure out, you know, how to explain what's the best about this car and what we all love about it. You know, top speed, this, that, and the third. I used to have an 87 Corvette. I don't anymore. I sold it. But maybe down the road I can get another, and we can do we can do some content about that, about, you know, driving the Corvette around and just enjoying it, going through each little thing that it has to offer, each little niche that a Corvette has to offer. But when I talk Corvettes, man, since I was about, I'd say 10 years old, and I knew what a Corvette was, I loved it. Loved everything about it. I really wanted a C6 Corvette. That's a 2005 to 2013, that model. That was my crush, you could say, on the car. But my first Corvette ended up being an 87 Corvette, which is a C4. And man, I loved that car. I was mad I had to sell it, but I've had actually 10 cars, and I'm 26. So anyway, but I'm going all over the place, but that's how these first videos, I'm sure, are going to be. But so anyway, the football aspect, I'm thinking about going, as I said, I'm an avid Cowboys fan. So I'm sorry if there's any Giants, Eagles, or Redskins followers, anything like that. You guys are probably not going to like my football content too much. But no, you know, I'll try to be unbiased, but I'm definitely gonna talk about a lot of Cowboys stuff, and I'll probably talk about, you know, other things going on around the NFL, not always Cowboys, but just to kind of, you know, go all around and not make it all about the Cowboys. But I would say that I was thinking maybe go to like football fields or something, you know, that I know of, local football fields or whatever. I mean, just making sure now. Here I go on this trail, and my brother and I actually did this. We went hiking last week, and boy, every white mark where you're supposed to follow on the trail, we went the opposite direction, and we ended up saying, oh wait, where's the white mark? But so far I think I'm following correctly. But anyway, so yeah, go to different fields, maybe different high school fields that I know of. You know, I went to Ocean Township High School, maybe go to that field, talk about different points, different topics on what's going on in football, NFL particularly, because that's what I follow mainly. But you know, just go through different avenues and aspects of top news that's going on in the NFL right now. Just to be brief, I mean, I'm not going to go into it crazy, but this whole Dak Prescott contract situation, it's got people going nuts, man. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a guy hated so much. And I mean, I was a very avid fan watching the Tony Romo days, and he was hated. But man, this guy Dak, it's like people just look for reasons to hate him. I mean, the guy's a 4th round draft pick. He's done pretty much all that you've asked him to do. I mean, sure, you want playoff wins, you want a Super Bowl, so that's the goal, and he hasn't done that yet. But in terms of potential, he's done pretty much everything you can ask a 4th round QB to do. He came in as a rookie and went 13-3. Granted, he had a great team. That's a lot of people's arguments when I talk to them on Twitter. So yeah, he had a great team around him, but name a QB who's winning Super Bowls who doesn't have a great team around him. Whether it's defense, whether it's, you know, his receivers, his backs, something like that. By the way, that beep you may have just heard, that's my Dexcom. I'm a type 1 diabetic, but I'll dive more into that later. It's telling me my sugar's high, so this walk's gonna help me lower my sugar. But anyway, so you know, you look at who just won the Super Bowl recently, Patrick Mahomes, right? And the Chiefs. They got one of the greatest coaches in Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches who never won a Super Bowl, and now he won one. So now he's up there with the greatest. He's got Tyreek Hill, he's got Sammy Watkins, he's got Damian Williams at running back, he's got Travis Kelce at tight end, probably the best tight end in the league. Tyreek Hill, probably the fastest receiver I've ever seen, honestly. McCole Hardman they got I think it was last year, and he's just almost as fast as Tyreek Hill. Probably going to be a pretty good receiver too. And now this year they just drafted, after winning a Super Bowl, they drafted this kid, this running back, Clyde Hilaire, I believe his name is. And man, that offense looks like it's going to be getting better and better. So maybe they, you know, maybe they had to sacrifice a little bit on defense, but their offense is just, it's going to be unstoppable. So the Cowboys, I think that's a similar aspect that we're looking to, I think, because our offense, you know, it's looking like it's going to shape up pretty well. We got at least, I would say, a top 3 back. I mean, a lot of people want to argue it. Zeke he's top 3 at the very worst. I mean, come on. Who's better than Zeke? I mean, you can argue, okay, maybe there's different versatilities that other backs have that he maybe doesn't, or they don't use enough, like his receiving duties and all that. But he's a top 3 back. I mean, every year since he's been in the NFL, granted, he has a great O-line. I know that. Everybody likes to say that too. But again, this is what makes a football team. You need great players around you for everybody to be great. So, you know, if Dak had a bunch of scrubs around him, I'm sure he's not going to be doing too well. He would never have done what he's done these past 4 years. But then again, I don't think Patrick Mahomes would have done what he's done either with a bunch of scrubs. So, you know, and am I saying that Dak is better than Patrick Mahomes? No, I'm not. I'm a realist. I understand that Patrick Mahomes is, you know, a lifetime, a generational talent. You know, Dak is very talented, but Patrick Mahomes is just different level talented, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You can win Super Bowls with either of them. Who would I pick? I mean, it'd be a tough one, but I would go Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, so again, just kind of going through it on the introduction to the channel and whatever. I would say, you know, it's going to be a pretty active channel. I'm going to try and do, I'm thinking like maybe a video a week on each topic. So like one week we'll go, you know, something about maybe, and I'm thinking like during the weekend, maybe a Saturday or Sunday, but we'll go, you know, a topic about God, maybe, you know, I don't know, a Bible verse or something that a lot of people are questioning, or they don't understand it, or maybe just a Bible verse or something that God is putting on people's lives and in their hearts to talk about, to bring up. You know, there's a lot going on. I mean, I don't know how recent, if it's still going on, but a lot of talk about abortion and stuff, and, you know, how wrong that can be, obviously, how wrong that is in the eyes of God. I mean, you're literally killing a human, killing a baby. So, but, you know, different things like that we're going to talk about. Like on my shirt here, you can see Proverbs 4:2-3. I just want to bring it up, exactly what it says. I'll read it. It says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Keep your mouth free of perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil." So, obviously, I'm not gonna. I didn't focus on one topic today for, you know, God, cars, or football. More or less, like I said, this is just an introduction. But the meaning of that to me is just, God gives you discernment, and He gives you you know, a certain level of discretion that you can use, and you have to obviously know him. You have to know what his word says about certain things in life, and you have to pick which way you go based on those things that he's given you, the wisdom that he's given you. So for instance, I have been thinking about this channel for quite a while, and with this whole coronavirus thing going on now, it's given me a little bit more opportunity to pursue it, and because I have a little more time now, at least for now. But I'm gonna have to try and work out how I can keep this going when I have to go back to work. I work full-time in a prison. But anyway, I'm gonna get more into that. This video hopefully is not too long, but I'm gonna get more into the introduction. I rant off some ways, one way or the other, but I'm gonna get to introducing myself and exactly who I am and what I do. But so I have been thinking about this channel for a while, like I said, and at first, I gotta be honest, I grew up, I listened to a lot of rap and a lot of different music. I listened to classics, oldies, because my dad got me into that, Elvis Presley, the Beatles, all that stuff. But I was always a big Eminem fan, and I still am, and I don't support or condone the things that he says, but there's something, his music is definitely, it sounds good to the ear, and it's very technical, and you can tell he's a good rapper. The problem is that when you subject yourself to his music, sometimes obviously when you're hearing somebody cursing all the time and talking about killing this one and killing that one, and even though it may be in a joke, it kind of leads you astray from what God wants you to do, or what he wants you to be listening to or surround yourself with. I mean, that's a hard thing to grasp, really, because it's just all around the world today. Like, no matter where you go, you're going to hear an Eminem song, or you're going to hear a song about shaking booties or this or that or whatever, all these new songs. And so it's definitely tough. It's a tough thing to navigate, but I found out, I said to myself, because I wanted to originally, I watched a lot of reactors on YouTube and stuff that react to rap channels, to rap songs, and I said to myself, man, I want to do that. That would be so fun. It's very fun, like you can enjoy with your crowd of people, just reacting to music that you all like, together, or music that you don't like together, or whatever. But God laid it heavy on my heart. He said, I was praying about it, and I think he told me that how are you gonna portray yourself as a Christian, and you're promoting satanic music, more or less. Granted, Eminem, I don't think he's a Satan grommer or producer or anything like that, but just his music and the tone of it and just what it stands for, what it says, it's tough to connect that to a Christian view. And so, while I love Eminem, and I think, I understand his story, and man, I've been a fan of his for a long time. I don't know, God maybe is just telling me, that wasn't the right thing. So, and I thought about rapping myself, and I was coming up with crazy lyrics and just bad lyrics, and venting my anger from my childhood and life, and because like I said, I'm going to get into it in the introduction. I'm not going to go too in depth on my childhood and everything, but my childhood was pretty rough. I'm not going to say I was I wasn't in a gang or anything like that crazy, or I wasn't being shot at, I wasn't shooting or anything like that, but my life wasn't easy, we'll say that. So, God even says in scripture, a fool gives full vent to his anger. So that's basically what I would have been doing, and I probably, who knows, who knows what could have come from that. Maybe people would have resonated with it, but I know from listening to Eminem that I resonated with him, and him letting his anger out, and it made me angry. Like, it made me amped up and start cursing and just getting mad and like, you know, F this and F for everybody. But that's not what I want to portray, and that's not what I want to connect to people. So that's what led me to this channel: God, cars, and football. 3 things that I love, and you know, number one being God. And if I can bring somebody to Christ, or help bring them to Christ that maybe didn't know him, or didn't even know of him, or just was on the fence, like I said earlier, that's a win in my book. So, and also it's good to have camaraderie and community like this is going to be. You know, we are going to be all together, like enjoying talking about, you know, about Jesus, about what cars we like, about the football teams we like, and what's going on in the world in those topics. So it's going to be fun. But I'm glad God led me in this direction. So back to a little bit to my introduction. As I said, Raphael, that's my name. Grew up in Asbury Park, actually. Was born in 93, November 27th, 1993. I'm 26 now. I joke around with my wife. My birthday's coming up in what? So 6 months or something? Yeah, 6 months. I say, hey, you know, I send her links to Corvettes and stuff. I say, hey, you know, my birthday's coming in 6 months. The funny part is hers is coming in 5. So she's in October 21st, baby. 95. She's 24. But so yeah, I was born in 93 in Neptune in Jersey Shore Hospital. Born and raised basically in Asbury. I lived on 5th Ave in Asbury Park for a good portion of my childhood. From there, moved to Wanamassa, which is in Ocean Township, New Jersey, and kind of bounced around a bunch of places. From there, went to Long Branch, then moved from Long Branch to Neptune, and then from Neptune finally got on my own 2 feet with my then girlfriend, then fiance, and now wife. We bought a condo together in Jackson. So, but growing up, you know, my family never owned a house. They just, you know, they were into drugs. They were into all the wrong things, and they were, don't get me wrong, they were God-fearing Christian people, but they didn't fully devote themselves to him, and nor have I. I mean, I'm not perfect, you know. I'm trying my best, and maybe this is going to help me get better. You know, maybe that's why God led me to this, because I'm going to be delving more and more into his word as I go through it with you guys, and I need that, and you need that. We all need that. So, but yeah, you know, I'm not perfect, and nor were they, obviously, but they were into drugs. They were into drinking a lot, cursing, you know, lying, just bad things. So, you know, I kind of had to dig myself up out of that, and the only way that I was able to do that was with God. And same with Amanda, my wife. We kind of grew up in the same, like almost same household, because our dads did the same thing. Our moms were a little different, but pretty much did the same things. And so that's what's unique about our story, is that we got to go through all that together, and now it's like we know everything about each other. So sometimes you could take that as, man, that's not a good thing, right? You know every little thing about each other. But overall, I'd say it's for the better. I mean, there's a connection that me and her would have with nobody else, because we have seen everything together. We've been through pretty much the same exact stories. So, and now we're both, you know, trying to grow our lives together and you know, put God at the forefront of everything in our lives. So you can't ask for much better than that. Eventually we'll have kids, and it's just gonna keep growing from there. But so yeah, as I said, I'm getting off track again. But born in 93. Sorry if I said that 65 times already. Yeah, grew up in Asbury, moved all around and stuff, and so I went to kindergarten in Asbury. I went to elementary school also in Asbury. I went to middle school in Ocean Township, high school in Ocean Township. From there I graduated with pretty good grades, A's and B's. but I wasn't trying my hardest at all. But from there, I went on to college, Brookdale Community College in Lincroft. It's a 2-year college program. You get an associate's degree. So I did that. That's when I started to really like get serious about, you know, about school, and just like, I'm like, I gotta get good grades. I gotta, you know, this, you can't play around because you're paying for this. So I did really well there. I think my cumulative GPA was like a 3.9 all throughout college, but not too bad. But from there, I got my 2-year degree, associates, and graduated Brookdale, and I went through what they call a communiversity program, where Brookdale is partnered with 6 other universities, and one of them was New Jersey City University. That's where I ended up choosing. So I didn't actually go to the campus. I just there was a campus locally that was partnered with Brookdale, so it was really a Brookdale campus, but I went there as a Jersey City University student and finished my courses there. My Brookdale courses were criminal justice, so I have an associate's in criminal justice, and my bachelor's at Jersey City was in national security studies. So, you know, funny how I've been all over the place, but that's just part of life, and finding your passions and stuff. And you know, I during those years I didn't have like much guidance, so I was just trying to figure it all out, and I kind of just rolled with what I thought would be a good career option. So I said, you know, being a cop would be a good thing. But come to find out, I didn't want to be a cop. There was no way. But so fast forward, I graduated college. I ended up working in a title searching company, which is like searching, you know, house records and mortgages and land records, and searching and all that databases to see, you know, basically when somebody buys a house, a title search has to get done, so that way the title can be brought up clean and clear. You know, it's clean and clear, and the next person buys it and it's all good to go. So I did that for 3 years, and then during that time I had been trying to apply for a state job in New Jersey, because state job to me was like one of the greatest things you can get. Pension, you know, good salaries, pretty good hours and stuff like that. So eventually this past year I ended up getting a job in a prison in Trenton. So I've been doing that for 8 months now, and listen, it's a good job. It's a good place to be. You know, it's a good stepping stone, I think. And my goal though really is to just, you know, just keep growing, and I would love if this channel could grow tremendously. You know what I mean? That would be a goal of mine. It would be amazing. And down the road, if it does grow and things like that, I'd love to just help people, you know what I mean? Help people out. And I'm talking like just random people. I'm not talking about fundraisers and this and that. Like, I always had a thought in my head, if I had $1 million, I'd literally go to, like, you know, some homeless people that I know in Asbury. I'd go to, you know, different people, maybe somebody who I know who needs a car or this or that. People who just need a little help. Maybe they need some brightness financially. I'll go to them, I hand them, you know, here's $20,000, you know. Imagine what $20,000 handing you would do for you. It would be amazing. Sure, it wouldn't be totally life-changing, but it would be pretty significant, $20,000. So, you know, things like that. And I mean, the more money you have, obviously the more you can give. You could really change some lives. I mean, if you got millions of dollars, and I don't want to be a millionaire, to be honest. If that ever were the case with me, if I became a millionaire, I would give a lot of it away, because, you know, that's another thing, that when it comes to being a Christian, there's a fine line there where you have to really be careful with money, and you can never want or love money to the point where you love it more than God and you idolize it. And a lot of people, you know, myself included, it can get tough, but you got to just keep at the forefront of your mind and remember, you know, God first before everything. Money means nothing. You die eventually. What happens to your money? Okay, yeah, you can give it to your kids or whatever, but it's just a little material thing. It's a piece of paper. It has value now while you're here, but your real value is heaven. You know what I mean? That's why we live this life. We want to go to heaven. So praising God and just being one with God throughout your life, that's the key. So again, I went off on a rant, but like I said, got the job with the state, and that's kind of where I'm at now. And I didn't get too technical as far as my past, but there's a lot more that you'll find out about me as we go along and things like that. I'm looking forward to this channel, and I'll appreciate anybody who will want to listen to me and who will want to engage with me about God, about cars, and about football. It's going to be fun. Like I said, I would love, down the road, when I do these pieces about God, I'd put out where I'm going to film or whatever, and I would just have everybody who would want to come, we could all join together. We could do this together, you know what I mean? Same thing with the cars. If it ends up being something where I go outside and do it, and same thing with the football eventually too. If we want to, maybe we could have literally an episode where we're all throwing a football. Who knows? But that's pretty much it. Look forward to my next video. It's going to be something about God. I haven't thought of the particulars yet, but I'm thinking more than likely it's going to be something about Timothy 2:22. And the funny thing about that, real quick, is I grew up on 222 Fifth Avenue. So if you look up Timothy 2:22 right now, it'll make sense to you why I want to go about it. So I recently, when me and Amanda were in the process of thinking about marriage, we actually just got married March 14th, 2020. So it was literally days before this coronavirus started closing everything down, and we didn't know that was going to happen. It was all God's plan. But so one night I was by myself, and I'm just thinking to myself, I say, God, give me some kind of good information. Sorry if you guys can hear those cars back there. I know they're a bit loud, but anyway, so I said to myself, God, give me something, give me like concrete evidence, like give me a concrete understanding of why I should get married and why we should get married. Why is it good for us, and why is it the right thing to do for both of us? And I turned to, just open my Bible randomly, and I do that sometimes just to see what God's given me randomly. It turned to Timothy 2:22, chapter 2, verse 22, and just it all connected in such a divine way, like very spiritual, like supernatural way. You're like, wow, 222. I used to live on 222 Fifth Avenue. Amanda used to actually live on 222 Fifth Avenue also before I did, which is the even funnier part. But we'll talk about that more later. But it struck me in a way where I was like, wow, okay, I got to really read this and finally listen to it. You know what I mean? So I did that. And what it was, more or less, it was telling you, don't fall for youthful lusts. Basically don't give yourself to what the world is trying to give you to as far as youth and like, oh, you're 20 something years old, you gotta be out partying, and you gotta be out chasing the baddest looking chick you can find, and you gotta be smoking and drinking and doing this and that. More or less, that's what I took from it, and it gave me an understanding, like, okay, I have in front of me a woman here who's a strong woman. She's beautiful. I've known her all my life. Literally, I know everything there is to know about her, and vice versa. She's a Christian. Like, what more could I ask for? Everything just worked out. So I said, okay, I gotta really understand. And then from that point on, I was so more secure, like, all right, we're getting married, this is the thing to do. So, but that's my introduction. Look forward to the next video. Should be probably, I would say, next Saturday or Sunday. I enjoyed this, and I really look forward to meeting some of you and just, gaining camaraderie and unity with you all in our passions in God, cars, and football. GCF with Raphael. You guys have a great day. If you enjoy so far what you're seeing, if you feel like you can resonate with me and what I'm talking about and what I want to talk about, this channel wants to talk about God, cars, and football, GCF with Raphael. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Sorry, I said subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you like it. And that's strictly if. There's no, you know, I'm not one of those people who's like, you know, pushing you and you gotta subscribe to my channel, come on, and this and that. If you like it and you enjoy it, then you do it, you know. I would love if you did, and you know, I would love to meet you and talk to you. But yeah, like, subscribe. If you really enjoy it, you can turn on the notifications. I'm just getting new to the YouTube world, so I don't know how everything works, but that, yeah, more or less that's it. If you enjoy this, be a part of this channel and grow with us, you know what I mean? I say us, it's just me right now and God, but we can grow this camaraderie and this unity together. So if you enjoy it, subscribe, like, comment, whatever. No Life Shack. That's tough! My man, No Life Shack. But check this out, this view.